Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the How to Build series where we're going through every single champion in the game, and I'm putting together a quick reference guide for newer players who need a little bit of guidance on how to build someone and how to use them, where to use them, things of that nature. So I won't be going into masteries and later game builds because that gets a little specific based on how you want to use someone. So let's go ahead and jump into it with Bogwalker. He's a rare defense champ in the Lizardmen faction. Base HP is pretty nice. Base attack is what you'd expect, and then his base defense is also really nice. He's over the 1100 mark, 93 speed. It's a tad on the low side, but not insurmountable. It's not a huge problem. Let's take a look at what he's got going on. First skill, attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. So we've got a 50% attack break on the first skill. This is nice, and earlier. It's really nice across the board in dungeons. Anytime you can put an attack break on a dungeon boss, that's going to help you out quite a bit. It also gives you some early game clan boss utility. Maybe you don't have a Tay-Rail, maybe you don't have some of these nicer, higher level attack breakers. Bogwalker could stand in as your attack breaker to keep the rest of your clan boss team alive a little bit longer, just based on the first turn attack break. So that's a pretty nice little skill. Relatively easy to skill up, and his chance goes up quite a bit. It becomes a 50% chance once you have him skilled up. So not bad. Second skill, attacks all enemies, places a 30% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. So this is a pretty cool skill because generally when you buff your whole team, you're kind of sacrificing a turn in the way of damage. So here he gets to attack all enemies, and he gets to place a defense buff on the whole team. So that's a really cool skill. His first skill also scales off defense, which is nice, and this one scales off of attack and defense. So that's also pretty cool that you kind of get to do 2 things with one skill. You get to buff your team. Generally, you're making a decision, one or the other. In this case, you get to do both. So that's actually really cool too. And the defense buff, again, will give you a little bit more utility in clan boss earlier game if you don't have some of these other champs that do so many other things and contribute so heavily. The attack break and the defense buff on the team is actually going to be pretty nice. So quite a bit of earlier game clan boss utility. And I think nice in dungeons in general, honestly. The attack break paired with the defense buff that he gives the team is going to be pretty nice. And then he's got a passive, places a 30% reflect damage buff on all allies for 1 turn when attacked with a critical hit. And you can get this down to a 3-turn cooldown. So again, this is also really cool. Again, going back to the earlier game clan boss situation, because when the clan boss AoEs your team, you're going to reflect some damage, which is just going to bump your damage up a little bit, and you want every damage point you can get in clan boss. So basically everything he does is going to be nice for your clan boss team, but again, also in dungeons in general. I'm seeing him as PvE heavy. I don't know that I would take him into very many PvP situations. Right now we only have arena, but if we ever got anything else, I don't know that he would be. I mean, there is some utility there, don't get me wrong. That reflect damage is interesting, but it's kind of you can't really control that. So what I'm going to vote for this dude is earlier game clan boss and dungeons. And I mean, depending on your pulls, he could even follow you into mid game clan boss. Depending on who you pull. If you haven't pulled someone that can replace him, he's really not bad. So as far as how to build him, we have the benefit of him being a defense champ that scales off of defense. Here, this scales off of defense and attack. We're going to ignore attack. We're not going to try to scale up this low base attack. So we're just going to build him tanky. We're going to build him like a defense champ. So what we're going to want on him is we're definitely going to want accuracy. Accuracy is going to be really important on him because we want this attack break landing. If you're going to use him in clan boss, that's really the whole reason he's there, is because of the attack break. If he didn't have that on his first skill and he only had these other 2 things, I wouldn't say take him. But these are the 2 things paired with the fact that while they're on cooldown, he's going to be putting up attack breaks constantly. Gives him a ton of utility. He's going to keep your team alive a lot longer and allow you to stick around and do a lot more damage. So accuracy is going to be really important on him, and then speed is going to be really important on him, and tankiness is going to be important on him. So I would definitely work an accuracy set in. I would definitely work a speed set in, and then I would probably work a defense or HP, honestly. I know that he's defense and he scales off defense, but you're not really bringing him along to do damage. It's nice that he scales off defense, which means he will get a little bump in his damage, but we're not going to really build him for damage. We really want him to be fast, accurate, and able to survive for a long time. So, defense percentage or HP percentage on the gloves and armor, and either a defense set or an HP set. That's up to you. I would go speed as a main stat on the boots, and I would do that with a mix of accuracy set, speed set, and then HP or defense set. In your substats, I would be looking for speed, accuracy, defense, and HP. Alternatively, if you can get your hands on the gear, putting your clan boss team on a lifesteal set is not a bad idea. Now, you wouldn't want to do that until you had War Master on this guy. It would be a waste. He would not do enough damage to heal himself outside of having War Master. But a little later down the line, if you've got the lifesteal gear for it, and you want to do his masteries all the way to War Master, which again, if you're not pulling anybody that can replace him, maybe that's not the worst idea, because a first turn attack break is really handy in Clan Boss. So if that is a route you wanted to take and you were a little later in your Minotaur grind and you felt like it was feasible, you wouldn't have to go super far out of your way to do something like that, then I would follow the same stat guidelines. I would just put him on a lifesteal set so that he could heal himself, and you're going to stay in the fight a lot longer as far as Clan Boss is concerned. So yeah, Clan Boss primarily dungeons. I think he's going to be useful, and that includes the potion dungeons. He's even got a little bit of utility in Spider. He does have the AoE, as well as the nice buffs and the attack break. So I think probably everywhere except Fire Knight, he's going to be useful to some extent. But I really think this guy shines in Clan Boss, early and mid-game Clan Boss. So that's going to wrap it up for Bogwalker. Hope it was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them below. Any input on Bogwalker, we're always down for more information. And that'll do it. So I'll see you guys in the next video.